Jeff used to think budgeting was for boomers and that financial freedom was just a buzzword influencers use before trying to sell you a course. At 24, Jeff was living in a shared apartment with two roommates, a cat named Ethereum, and a fridge that contained exactly one bottle of oat milk, a half-eaten burrito, and 3 different brands of hot sauce. His bank account? Let's just say it was more vibes than value. But here's the wild part. 12 months later, Jeff's got a 6-month emergency fund, a growing investment portfolio, and a side hustle that brings in an extra $200 a month, all thanks to a few AI-powered finance tools and a serious reality check. This is the story of how Jeff went from financially frazzled to financially functional. And if you stick around, you'll learn how to do it too, without giving up coffee, fun, or your sanity. Before we dive in, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment below with your biggest money struggle. We're building a community here, and trust me, you're not the only one who's ever overdrafted on a $6 smoothie. All right, let's rewind. It all started when Jeff's debit card got declined at Taco Bell. Not even for a full meal, just for a crunch wrap, Supreme, and a Baja Blast. That was the moment, the financial rock bottom. The I need to get my life together montage music started playing in his head. Jeff had a job, a decent one. He worked in customer support for a tech startup. But between rent, student loans, Uber Eats, and the occasional treat-yourself impulse buy, his paycheck disappeared faster than his motivation on Monday mornings. He tried budgeting. Once, he downloaded a spreadsheet template, opened it, stared at it for 12 minutes, and then closed it to watch a video of a raccoon stealing a slice of pizza. But then he saw a TikTok about an app called Cleo. It was an AI-powered budgeting assistant that roasted you into financial shape. Literally, it sends you messages like, "You spent 87 hours on coffee this week. Are you okay?" Jeff was intrigued. He downloaded Cleo, connected his bank accounts, and within minutes it gave him a brutally honest breakdown of his spending. Turns out he'd spent $312 on food delivery in the past month. That's more than his car insurance. And don't even get him started on the $140 he spent on miscellaneous, which was mostly candles and novelty socks. But Cleo didn't just shame him. It helped him set spending limits, track his goals, and even build a sassy savings jar for his Japan trip. It was budgeting, but with personality. And Jeff needed that. For the first time, budgeting didn't feel like punishment. It felt like progress. But budgeting was just the beginning. Jeff still had debt, credit cards, student loans, and a buy now, pay later plan for a standing desk he never assembled. He needed a plan, a real one. That's when he found Monarch Money. Monarch is like the grown-up version of a spreadsheet, but with AI that actually helps you make decisions. It pulled in all his accounts, checking, savings, credit cards, loans, and gave him a full picture of his finances. It even showed him how much interest he was paying on his credit cards, spoiler too much, and suggested a debt snowball plan. Jeff followed the plan. He automated his minimum payments, threw extra cash at his smallest balance, and watched the numbers shrink. Slowly, painfully, but they shrank. And then came the turning point. Jeff's roommate, Maya, was making money on the side using ChatGPT to write product descriptions for Etsy sellers. She showed Jeff how she used AI to generate content, pitch clients, and even automate emails. Jeff's brain exploded. He'd always been decent at writing. In college, he once wrote a 10-page paper on the symbolism of frogs in literature in one night. So he gave it a shot. He signed up for Upwork, created a profile, and started offering blog writing and product description services. But here's the twist. He used Notion AI and ChatGPT to help him brainstorm, outline, and draft content faster. He wasn't cheating. He was collaborating. AI gave him the bones and he added the meat, the voice, the jokes, the Gen Z flair. Within a month, he landed 3 clients. By month 3, he was making an extra $200 a month. Enough to pay off a credit card, build an emergency fund, and finally fix the leaky faucet in the bathroom. But Jeff didn't stop there. He wanted to invest. Not in crypto or meme stocks. He'd learned that lesson the hard way during the Dogecoin saga of 2021. He wanted something stable, long-term, grown-up. So he downloaded Public. Public is an investing app that's actually beginner-friendly. It uses AI to suggest portfolios based on your goals, risk tolerance, and interests. Jeff told it he wanted to invest for retirement, but also support companies that aligned with his values, like clean energy and tech innovation. Public helped him build a diversified portfolio with fractional shares, so he didn't need $3,000 to buy a single share of Amazon. He started with $50 a week. Nothing crazy, but it added up. And the best part? Public explained everything in plain English. No Wall Street jargon. No bullish head and shoulders pattern nonsense. Just real talk. Jeff also set up auto investing, so every Friday, a little chunk of his paycheck went straight into his portfolio. It was like paying future Jeff first. Now, let's talk about lifestyle inflation. Jeff got a raise at work. A good one. And for a hot second, he thought about upgrading to a nicer apartment, buying a new iPhone, and getting a gym membership he'd probably never use. But then he remembered something he read on Reddit. If you increase your spending every time you make more money, you'll always feel broke. So instead of upgrading his lifestyle, Jeff upgraded his systems. He used an app called Copilot Money to track his net worth. It showed him how his savings, investments, and debt were changing over time. Watching that little graph go up? Addictive. Like better than Instagram addictive. He also started using Rocket Money to cancel subscriptions he forgot about. Turns out he was still paying for a meditation app he hadn't opened since 2022. And a streaming service. He only got to watch one show. Classic. With the extra cash, Jeff started a freedom fund. Not for emergencies. Not for bills. Just for options. Like quitting a toxic job, taking a sabbatical, starting something new. And here's the kicker. Jeff didn't do any of this overnight. There were setbacks. He still impulse bought a $70 hoodie because it had a frog on a skateboard. He still had weeks where he overspent on takeout. But he kept going. He used AI tools not to get rich quick, but to get smart slow. And that's the real glow-up. So what can you learn from Jeff? First, budgeting doesn't have to suck. Use apps like Cleo or Monarch to make it fun and visual. Second, AI is your friend. Whether it's writing, investing, or tracking expenses, there's a tool that can help you do it faster and better. Third, start small. Jeff didn't become a finance guru overnight. He just took one step, then another, then another. And finally, don't wait for a financial crisis to get your money right. Start now, even if it's messy, even if it's just $10 a week. Because future you, they'll thank you. If you made it this far, you're already ahead of the game. So do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your favorite finance or AI tool, and share this video with someone who needs a money makeover. We've got more stories, tips, and tools coming your way. Because personal finance isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. And maybe, just maybe, having a little fun along the way. Be like Jeff, but maybe skip the frog hoodie. Thanks for watching.